Alrighty guys, as you can bring is another Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video in regards to season 55. So last season we ended at rank 3553, which is amazing considering the team that we used that only included 2 Z tier units while the rest consisted of A through C tier units. So as always, before we get into the video itself, there will be timestamps in the description down below, that way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. First thing we're going to be talking about is our pathing. As always, there's going to be circled red fights. These are going to be the most important fights, as those are your win streak bonus fights. That's why I usually or typically will go for the higher difficulty stages, because those will yield the most points. The path in blue is subject to change. Sometimes I will change it up a little bit, but stay true to the red fights. Now let's talk about tips and tricks. Path to friendship is open. Please use it alongside your daily Let's Fight stages. These will allow you to level up your friendship rank amongst your units. Ideally, you want all of your ToP units at friendship rank 10 because this will give you an increase to all of your stats. Disclaimer, this does only apply to ToP. Let's go ahead and look at an example right here in the form of First Form Cell. He is at friendship rank 10. You can see his stats right here. Specifically, his Q restore speed is 2,684. If you look at his regular stats, his Q restore speed is 2,557. You will see that jump in health, strike attack, blast attack, all of that. We have this stage right here, a Tapion stage. You want to target Tapion first. He will reduce one of your units' super gauge to 0 on turn 2. Next, we have the Super Warrior stage. Target Tien first, since he will stun you on turn 2, and then target Baseball Yamcha last, since he will buff his team upon mitigating a Blast Arts. That's right, he will mitigate a Blast Arts attack once you hit him with it, with basically his green card, his home run. We got the Kid Gohan stage returning. Kid Gohan, you want to kill him first, since he will super per dead ally. Optimally, you want to kill Gohan and Beerus in turn 1, since Beerus will stun on turn 2. We have another Saga stage here. You want to actually ignore Tapion. Go for Ultra Broly first, since he will stun you at the start of turn 2, and then go for Sparking Broly, as he will stun you at the end of turn 2. Next, we had the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Frieza stage. Don't take any purples here. That's my personal advice. You can if you want to, but it's a little bit risky. The Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku will super on turn 2, so attack him first, kill him first, and just be cautious of the full power Frieza, since he will only super you if he gets hit by a Blast Arts. You can safely go about this stage by swapping your units to strike base, and I'll show you how. So you go into your team formation, you click on your specified unit, example, First Form Cell, you click on the blast icon next to the character icon, and it'll ask you to choose your attack strategy. Boom, hit strike, confirm. When you're done with the stage, go back to this, hit blast, hit confirm. Typically, I just eat the super attack and target him last and pray to RNG. Next, we have this future stage with Ultra Vegeta. Kill Mai before the end of second turn, or before the end of turn 2, because you will stun you. Blue Goku Black provides support to take him out early on as well. Ultra Vegeta is safe to take out last. Just be aware that he can counter a Blast Arts. Next, we have this Ultra Gogeta stage. Kill Gogeta first, since he does build a super per defeated ally. You don't want to get supered here. So next, I'm going to give you 2 options here. You can go for this Vegeta clan stage, but kill Mai before the end of turn 2 again, because she will stun you, and make sure to kill the buff Trunks before the Vegeta unit, since killing a Vegeta ally results in him getting 100% to a super gauge. So this one's a little bit risky, the superhero stage, right? This is only a 3/5 stage, but still scary nonetheless. Pan puts ridiculous debuffs on you, so target her first and then go for the Beast Gohan. After those 2 behemoths are gone, the rest of the fight should come pretty easy. We have another Sagas stage. Kill Tapion and then Turles, since Turles will debuff your entire team. Next, we have a girl stage. I like going for the tag droids first and then Green Mai, since she will stun at the end of turn 2. I like going for the tag droids first just because of the fact that I don't want to give them the opportunity to tag out into the Android 18. Also, just be cautious of Green Urine, because she can deal a lot of damage due to the debuffs that she inflicts. Next, we have this Ultra Broly and Kid Gohan stage. Kid Gohan does take priority, and then try to get Ultra Broly. If you can't get Ultra Broly in turn 1, just eat the stun. The super attack is more important to avoid. Let me know if there are any other stages I should have covered, or maybe even better solutions to the fights presented. Alright, so the first team that we're going to be talking about is girls. They are incredibly dominant right now for this season, and they're just going to continue to do so, right? We got the recent addition of Kyawei. I know we're going to have an entire new characters portion at the end of the video, but she's a healer. right? She's a healer, so that's immediately, she has a ton of value. She only restores ally health by 1%, but it's to all of your allies. And with a team like this, you can have more than one healer, right? So Kyawei, unfortunately, she is in A tier, but you can go into S tier and pick up Red 18, which you do see I have her on the backup. She's amazing. She provides debuffs and she heals in your top, left, and right diagonal. And not only that, from S tier as well, you have this blue Kale, right? She's also a healer in the top row right there, and she's going to be healing both Rival Universe and Girls. This team is going to be extremely durable, plus you do have good options overall if you don't have the same exact team as the #1 player that I'm showing on the right hand side. Also, another massive bonus of this team is the fact that in Z tier you do have that green urine. We talked about her in the tips and tricks. She's amazing. She has really good damage. If you have her at a good amount of stars, then I do advise using her. If you have that yellow Android 18 that the person on the right hand side does, then I do advise using her as well, because she is another healer. You shouldn't, theoretically, you shouldn't die with this team. And a lot of people are, I can already see the comments coming in, who do I use instead of 1000 Day Bulma? This is going to be your next best unit right here, which is this purple Mai. She buffs your entire board. That's the closest you're going to get. She's not as good as the 1000 Day Bulma, but this is pretty much as close as you're going to get. So next we have USS, and this team has become so versatile now. So we have on the right hand side, this guy's using Zenkai Bergadma. I'm also using him. This man is in B tier, right, which is kind of low on the spectrum, but that's, I think you shouldn't be scared of diving into these lower tiers and picking up units that are going to benefit your team. You could even go into C tier here if you really wanted to and pick up some of these other guys, such as the MUI Goku, who's amazing for this game mode. Also the LF Jiren, again another amazing unit. He does possess a stun. This guy's using Ultra Kaioken on his backup, and you know, honestly I don't even think Ultra Kaioken is all that amazing. He has a chance to do double attacks and has really high key restore speed. But other than that, like he's kind of right? He's just like a filler unit for this guy's team. But again, you do see this blue Kale, phenomenal unit, must have on a girls team or a USS team. We do see Kyawei again, who's going to be a healer, only heals by 1%. You could even slap on that yellow EX18 that we saw on the previous girls team here. You have a lot of replacements now, not to mention you have free-to-play replacements in A tier. This is your chance. If you guys summoned on the anniversary banner, I have a feeling a lot of you people are going to be able to easily build this team, especially since you can use Goku Frieza here. He has a good kit, Jiren, Kyawei, even the free-to-play units that we had just mentioned before. These guys are not bad at all, especially this Vegeta. Just briefly, he restores his own health by 1% on Blast Arts attack. He's getting a 4% heal there. He's going to blast 4 times. Even this Gohan, he has something that's a little bit weird, but can maybe be seen as something very powerful. Every time he defeats an enemy, he restores his health by 2%. That activates twice, and he also gets 100% to his special move gauge. That only activates 1 time, and it's a little bit situational. It's more than a little bit situational. It's very situational, but that could be of value to you if you don't have the green Dispo or the yellow EX Topo, which typically are going to be found in Z tier. Those units are going to give you more points, but again, you have the free-to-play replacements now. This team is very powerful for this season. Alright, next we have Sagas from the movies. I always say that this team has so many options. That's why it's always pretty much on the list right here. You can see right here on the right hand side, they got Red Turles, amazing unit. I also have him on my backup. He provides incredible debuffs, and he also heals himself by a whopping 10% at the start of the 3rd turn. Amazing unit, powerful unit. Then you also see the combo of the EX Thouser plus that EX Blue Cooler. Those two work incredible together. They're definitely a wombo combo sort of thing. If you bring in one, I feel like you have to bring in the other. And then you have Bujin. Bujin actually is one of my favorite units on here because he stuns an enemy, right? At the start of his 2nd turn, he inflicts can attack for 1 turn, cancels their attribute upgrades, all that good stuff. Having damage mitigation is a really powerful ability in Tournament of Power. And not to mention, just straight up, you could just build a Hera team right here. That's what I have, right? If you wanted to run this team, what I'm running right here, that's going to be easy, free 1000 juicy CC right there, right? Plus, with both of the Bojacks on your side, you're going to have a super attack for this guy at the start of turn 2. It's going to be his ultimate arts. That's the only thing that I don't like about the Red Bojack. He will use the Galactic Buster and the you cannot defeat an enemy with this, right? You can get him to one shot, but it won't defeat the enemy. The purple Bojack, on the other hand, he also gets a super attack at the start of turn 2, but he has such a low key restore speed, it basically feels like the end of turn 2, right? He only has 2,248, but still 2 super attacks shooting out on turn 2. That's phenomenal. And if you want to bulk up your team, if you're not running a full Hera squad team, easily go into B tier, pick up a healer or 2, you can get Gamma 2. He is a healer. He restores health by allies in range by 2%. Not a massive heal. If you want a better healer, you have stars on this unit. Super Saiyan Goku from the Cooler movie. He also heals your teammates by 3%. That activates twice for a total of 6% on 4 slots, including his own slot. So that's pretty good as well. If you want another secondary healer, you can go into C tier. Pick up this Revival Gohan, who also has Revival, right? He restores health by 1% for all allies with the tag Sagas from the movies, Sun Family, or Hybrid Saiyan. Do not be scared of these lower tiers, guys. I would say you can bring in like 3 C tier units and be okay. Alright, so next we are going to be talking about Sun Family. So this is also a very strong team. This guy right here on the right hand side, he is in the top 100 just barely. But that doesn't matter, right? We're not trying. I personally am not going for the top 100. I just want my damn CC. Hopefully, those of you watching, you guys pretty much have the same mindset, or else you would probably be going for a more optimal team here. But as you can see right here, I'm basically running the same thing. You have the combination of this Goku right here, who is the healer, right? He's going to be healing your allies for 5% at the start of the second turn. And then that's going to be huge for this guy because he takes all the damage on turn 1, the Super Saiyan Gohan team. He's been a meta unit in the early seasons of ToP. He was so dominant that nearly everyone would run him, and he's still getting value today. And you can see I'm running him. I'm running this Kaioken Goku down here. He does get a guaranteed super attack at the start of turn well, he gets it at the end of turn 2. That leads into turn 3, right? And then you have an S tier Goten, the GOAT of Sun Family right here. Not only is he providing support, but he has insane key restore speed. He has a transformation. He does get a special move at the start of turn 2, plus healing himself at the end of turn 2. This team is just so well built, and you can slap OP characters on here as well. This guy has Beast Gohan. I have Kaioken Goku and Go Frieza, right? Go Frieza is in A tier right here. Once again, just kind of like hammering the point home. Pick up the lower tier characters. You don't have to have a full team of Z and S. A tier is fine. B tier is fine. You don't want a full team of C tier, but having a couple C tier units on here isn't going to hurt you either. I wouldn't mind if some of you guys absolutely desperately needed some of these characters. Like for example, that Beast Gohan. He is a C tier unit. And last but not least, of course, we are going to be running regeneration. If you guys want to copy my regeneration team, 100% feel free to do so. If you guys need replacements for any of the teams, for regenerations especially, let me know in the comment section down below. We'll go ahead and quickly go over this. We're not using any Z tier units, right? Because they all suck. I think this one is alright. This Lord Slug, if you want to use that yellow, if you want a yellow on your team, I guess, right? We're going to go into S tier now. We do have some pickups with the blue EXL. I like that blue EXL because he's going to be getting Zenkai buffs, right? From the Piccolo when I have them used together, plus Super Baby 2 is going to keep him nice and healthy. He also has a stun at the start of turn 3, which is nice, or at the end of turn 2, I believe it is. And then the Cell. We have the Cell at Friendship Rig 10. I'm a big fan of the Cell. Him being in S tier is a massive W for us. This purple EXL, he has board-wide debuffs for the enemy team. That's why I am kind of biased towards him. Now we go into A tier right here. This is where we have the Kamikolo, who does get frequent super attacks. That's his main role in my team. So he basically put out a lot of damage. Same with Bootanks, he gets a guaranteed super attack every fight. Alongside with the Zenkai he just got, he's almost a necessity on the team. So we have 3 C tier units right here. This is somewhat of a detriment, right? A better red unit here than Red 21 would just be going into B tier, picking up this Buhan, but mine is only 3 stars. I'd much rather have a 14-star unit. That's why I opt for the Zenkai of Red 21, right? But even with 3 C tier units, we're going to get that guaranteed 1000 CC, I promise you guys. Alright, so for the final segment, we're going to be talking about the new characters. There are 8 new characters that we have received since the last guide video, so this is going to be quite lengthy, so bear with me here. First unit, we're talking about Goku and Final Form Frieza. Let's go ahead and take a look at those ToP stats at 14 stars. First thing I look for is key restore speed. 2,453, a little bit more on the weaker side. Do they have different ones? No. They're both 2,453. They do have the blue card right here. Let's go to take a look at their abilities. 90% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, minus 20% to damage received, plus 30% to key recovery. So key recovery is not an issue for these guys whatsoever. You also get another 20% to special move damage inflicted. On strike arts attack, you restore health by 2%. Huge. Plus 15% to damage inflicted. On special move arts attack, you cancel on attribute downgrades, inflict enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% damage received. That's pretty solid. He does have a cover change or cover rescue. Before receiving a strike arts attack, health is 30% or lower, allies in range. I don't like the health restriction, I'm not gonna lie. You do perform a cover change and nullify an attack. On attack against unfavorable elements, plus 10% to damage inflicted, plus 10% to special move damage inflicted, plus 20% to special move gauge. That's huge. That's good, I like that. You perform a tag switch. That activates only one time. I don't know how I feel about it only activating once. Okay, and before receiving a strike, blast, or special move arts against unfavorable elements, minus 10% to damage received, plus 10% to special move damage, plus 20% to special move gauge. Dude, you can just be getting 40% in one fight. That's huge. There's the second tag switch. You have another tag switch right here. This effect will activate even if an ally performs a cover change. So they are very good. I wouldn't say broken, absolutely busted to hell broken, but they are very good. So next, we are going to be talking about the yellow Jiren. So again, ToP stat. I don't think we need to display maximum stats. I don't think it does anything. Well, I guess it does. It does. So key restore speed 2,126. That's very. What about after transformer? 2,290. Kind of bad. Kind of bad. Okay, he does have the blue card here. On hit, target is God Key. God Key is not the most relevant tag in ToP, but it is there. You get an extra 20% to damage. Start of battle, 50% to damage, minus 20% to damage received. Start of turn, per enemy, plus 5% to damage, and plus 15 to key recovery. Just if it was 15%, it'd be a different story, but just 15. Well, I mean, I guess it's alright. At the end of the second turn, you transform, restore health by 2%, and 25% to damage inflicted. Okay, also a coverage. Ooh! Before receiving a strike arts attack, when transformed, you activate a special. He has a counter. That is huge. I like to see that. After activating the counter, you 20% to damage inflicted and 30% to special move gauge. Kind of reminds me of the Zenkai Janemba, no? After receiving an attack, you restore health by 1%, activates twice, and 10% to damage inflicted, activates twice. Again, very solid unit. Alright, so now let's take a look at Kyawei. ToP stats, maximum stats right here. Key restore speed 2,416, does have a blue and an ultimate. Let's see the first ability, 80% to damage inflicted, minus 20% to damage received, and 10%. That percent is very important to key recovery. At the start of the second turn, you activate your green card, 20% to damage inflicted, 20% to special move gauge. These guys are farming their supers. Restore ally health by 1%. That is massive. That is so good. Plus 15% to strike damage inflicted by allies for 2 turns for all allies. Strike-based team's about to go crazy with that. And inflict all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 15% to damage. She's great. She's amazing. She might be the best one for a ToP out of all of them. Before receiving a strike arts attack, health is 30% or lower. Health restriction, Perform a cover change. On strike arts hit, enemy inflicts heavy bleed for 1 turn. Pretty good. After receiving an attack, 5% to special move gauge. That's and it doesn't say that's a limited amount of times. She can keep getting that the amount of times she gets hits. Okay. After receiving an attack, on health is 50% or below. Upgrade on special move to ultimate and plus 20 to allies key recovery. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 30 to key recovery. That's an alright passive. I don't think that's the most important thing. I just don't like the fact that your health has to be below 50%, because in an ideal world, you never go past that mark, right? But overall, amazing support unit here. Alright, so now let's look at the unit that I do not have, Kahseral. Display maximum stats right here, ToP. Key Restore 2327, again on the weaker side, has blue card and the ultimate right here. Let's look at the first passive ability, 80% damage inflicted, minus 25% to damage received, plus 80 to key recovery. It should have been percentage based. 2300 isn't enough, I think. On strike arts hit, plus 10 to on key. Oh, okay, kind of solves it there, I guess. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 5 to key. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Inflicts enemy with heavy bleed for 1 turn. On strike arts attack multi-target, 20% to on strike damage. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 15% to strike damage received for 2 turns. And at the start of the second turn, you activate your green card, restores own health by 2%, cancels own attribute downgrades, add 15% to own special move gauge plus another 10% to damage inflicted by allied tag universe reps and range for 1 turn. Kind of reminds me of like a little bit of a watered down Kyawei. A little bit more offensive based than support based, right? He's more like in the middle, but still good nonetheless. Not as good as Kyawei though. So of course we have the EXs as well. Let's look at Purple Vados. I would expect her to be pretty good, right? ToP stats. Key Restore 2477, not bad. Blue card. 1 ability here being an extreme unit, 55% to damage inflicted, 25% to damage, minus 25% to damage received, plus 90 to key recovery, plus 15% to special move gauge charge rate. Would have liked to have just not seen charge rate right there, right? On strike or blast arts attack, multi-target, 10% to own damage, 5% to own damage inflicted, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 10% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 10% to damage received for 2 turns. Okay, so that's not on the entire enemy board, by the way, right? That's just only on the opponents she attacks. On special move arts, activation, enemy inflicts attribute downgrade minus 15% to damage inflicted, and plus 15% to damage received. She's kind of not that good. I actually expected something a lot. I mean, the debuffs are nice and stuff like that, but she's not like inflicting those debuffs on multiple targets at once. It's only on the people that she's attacking, so it's kind of eh. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at the inverse, the God of Destruction, Champa. ToP stats, maximum stats right here. Key Restore at 2374. It's alright. Blue card, 1 ability here, plus 50% to damage inflicted, 20% to strike damage, 20% to strike damage, minus 20% to damage received, plus 90 to key recovery at the start of the first turn, plus 20% to damage inflicted, plus 30% to special move gauge charge rate, and on special move arts activation, 25% to special move damage. Nah, he's not good. I think he's the weakest of the bunch. The EXs aren't all that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a feeling that these EXs are gonna be in Z tier just because of you're not gonna get like a ton of value from them. So now let's go to the free-to-play characters. I know there's a lot. There is definitely a lot. We have the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta right here. We already have him at max stats. So ToP. Key Restore speed 2339. That's all right. Right? You can get that up with Friendship Rank 10, by the way. Blue card, start of the battle, 40% to damage inflicted, 40% to blast damage, minus 10% to damage received, plus 80 to key recovery. That's good. The start of the second turn, 20% to blast damage inflicted for 1 turn, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgraded plus 15% to blast damage received for 1 turn. That's pretty damn good. At the start of the second turn, or at the start of turn, minus 15% to damage received for 1 turn, plus 10 to key recovery. Okay, I mean, the key recovery thing kind of solved itself there. On Blast Arts attack, you restore your own health by 1%. I like that a lot. You inflict enemy with attribute downgrade of 10% to blast damage received. And on Special Move Arts, you cancel attribute upgrades and buff effect. Pretty solid for a free-to-play unit. Alright, so the next free-to-play unit that we have is Ultimate Gohan. So he is absolute garbage in PvP. Let's see how he is in ToP. Key Restore Speed, 2351. Not the worst thing in the world. Has a blue card. First ability, 70% to damage inflicted, minus 20% to damage received, plus 90 to key recovery. On Strike or Blast Arts attack, 15% to damage inflicted, every time this character defeats an enemy, he restores health by 2%, activates twice, plus 15% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates twice, and 100% to your special move gauge. So you can actually do some crazy stuff with this. Like, say his special move gauge is already built up, you target a purple unit, right? He super attacks that purple unit, and by killing him, he gets his super attack right back. That could actually be huge, right? So there's some fun stuff you can do with him. I think he's pretty valuable. I think he's a bit niche, like he's a niche character, but I think that's pretty cool. At the start of the turn, own health is 60% or below. I don't like this already. 20% to damage inflicted, 20% to critical rate, 20% to critical damage, and he cancels attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. Yeah, if it was like 80% or below, it'd be a lot more valuable, but 60%, it's alright. Again, these are still pretty, these are more like filler options for your team. Okay, we're almost done here. We have the free-to-play cooler, ToP stats, max stats, key restore speed 2,453. That's pretty good. For a free-to-play unit, has the blue card, start of the battle, 60% to damage inflicted, minus 15% to damage received. At the start of the battle, if there are 4 or more other allied episodes, sagas from the movies, event exclusive, or LOE, 25% to damage inflicted, and 10% to key recovery. Sagas from the movies is an amazing tag to have for this ability, right? So I think that's pretty good. Alright, so second ability, start of the turn, multi-target, 10% to own blast damage inflicted for 1 turn, 5% to damage inflicted by allies. So definitely more of like a support role, it feels like. And at the start of the turn, if there's an enemy tag Saiyan remaining, obviously there's tons of Saiyans in ToP, 10% to own blast damage, and 5% to damage inflicted by allies in range. And on blast arts attack, you heal yourself by 1%. That's huge, right? Before receiving a strike or blast arts attack, you inflict attribute downgrade minus 5% to damage inflicted for 1 turn. I think he's really good. I think he is amongst the best. I think him and Vegeta so far are the best, but we haven't seen Android 13. Alright, so the last unit, good, because like my throat is starting to hurt here. We have the Android 13, so we'll display his maximum stats. Key restore speed 2,261, very weak. I'm not really happy with that. He has a blue card. His abilities on target or on hit, target is tagged Saiyan. Again, Saiyan is a very popular tag in ToP. Get instant 15% to damage inflicted. Start of the battle, 60% to damage inflicted, minus 20% to damage received, plus 50 to key recovery. You needed 50% right there, but I'm gonna be real honest with you. Plus 20% to special move gauge charge rate. Should have been just to your special move gauge instead of the charge rate, but I guess we can look. No, we can't really look past that, honestly. At the start of the second turn, 20% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, plus 20 to key recovery for 2 turns. It still needs more, and 10% to special move gauge. Okay, so actually that kind of pairs well with the charge rate, I guess. You get the 10% plus the bonus to your charge rate. I can see him supering frequently, more so than just other units, right? At the end of the second turn, 30% to next strike arts damage inflicted, 30% to next special move damage inflicted, cancels downgrades of normal conditions, and at the start of the first turn, you inflict attribute downgrade minus 10% to damage inflicted for 1 turn, inflicts attribute downgrade plus 10% to damage received for 1 turn, and inflicts attribute downgrade minus 5% to key recovery. Hold on. To the entire enemy team? Okay, that actually might be amazing. Okay, this guy actually might be a sleeper unit. I'm very happy with that kit. Just because of that last ability, I think that's really strong. Alright, so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns related to ToP this season, or just in the game mode in general, let me know in the comment section down below, whether it be replacements for units or just questions in general. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please hit that like button, and maybe even consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!